So I haven't done one of these in months, but even to this day I still get dozens and dozens of comments daily with a bunch of GorillaTag horror stories and people asking me to do more of them. So here's a story I found from one of you guys in the comments, and it definitely is a good one with a major twist at the end. So if you enjoyed, please leave your stories down below in the comments and I'll try my best to read as many of them as I can. For 2 years now, right as Christmas break starts, my friends and I get on Gorilla Tag right after school. It's our tradition at this point as our whole friend group enjoys playing the game, and this is our second year doing so. As of writing this, we've played every day for an entire week. We do all the normal stuff that everyone does while playing Gorilla Tag. Mini games, tag, hide and seek, all the normal stuff, right? It wasn't until one night we decided to do something different. We all started charging our headsets and talked in our group chat about what we should do. This night specifically was unique. It was 12 degrees outside and a huge snowstorm was blowing across the entire state. It was also 1 in the morning at the time, so it was definitely a little creepy. As 2 a.m. grew closer, our headsets fully charged and we decided to hop on the game. There were 6 of us total, and it being so late, the player count was extremely low. After everyone gathered in our main code, we talked about ghost hunting, which most of us have done but never found anything interesting. With it being 2 in the morning and a snowstorm going on outside, it would be a great idea, we all thought. So we went to the computer and game and started joining random ghost codes together. After dozens and dozens of random ghost codes and fake ghosts, we were starting to lose hope in finding anything that at least looked real. Thinking about giving up, my one friend says, "Hey guys, it's Christmas break, right? The Christmas update is here and it's snowing outside, so why don't we try code Frost?" All of us sitting there silently, we thought there was nothing else to lose, right? It would just be like every other ghost code with fake ghosts or nothing at all. So then on we went. We typed code Frost into the computer. All 6 of us joining one after another, we go to the leaderboard and to our surprise, nothing was there. Just the 6 of our names. At this point, we gave up the ghost hunting and started messing around doing all the normal things anyone else does in Gorilla Tag. A game of hide and seek. To make it easier, since the map has doubled in size, we hid in pairs and had 2 people seeking. Thankfully, I got to be one of the 4 hiding. The 2 seekers counted for 2 minutes inside the shop while all of us went to go hide. Me and my friend decided to hide in forest because no one would hide there, right? 2 minutes go by and they start looking for us. Instead of looking together, they split up. One went into canyon and the other came straight into forest but ignored everything. We watched him as he ran by, going straight into the tunnel leading to the beach map. My friend and I were trying our hardest not to laugh. As time goes by, our friend seeking didn't come back from the beach. We thought he would have been back by now since it had been around 5 or 6 minutes, but still nothing. We checked the leaderboard and there was only 5 players left. Weird. I texted the group chat and was left with no response from him. Not thinking anything of it, I put my headset back on to continue playing. Once I was back in, I turned to look at my friend I was hiding with. He was staring at the tunnel that leads to the beach map. He didn't move or say anything, he just sat there staring. I turned to look in the direction he was facing and see an odd-looking player. The color of his gorilla was light blue, almost like ice. It stood there staring at us, completely frozen, not even a little bit of movement. Me and my friend looked at each other confused as we didn't hear anyone else join. We went to the leaderboard and to our surprise, there was still only 5 of us after our friend had left. We turned back and there he was, still standing there frozen. We ended up yelling for our friends to come to the forest to look at what we were seeing. They rushed to the forest and we all stood there confused, looking at the random, ice-colored gorilla and back of the leaderboard. There were 5 of us on the leaderboard, but 6 players in game. Weird. We inched our way closer to it, extremely freaked out at this point. As we got closer, a faint noise started coming from it. The closer we got, the louder the noise. It almost sounded like the snowstorm going on outside. Weird, we all thought. Although the player's name wasn't on the leaderboard, its name was still on the gorilla itself. One of my friends went up closer to see the name and read out loud, "Guys, its name is Frost." As he turned around to come back to us, his gorilla completely froze and he disconnected from the game, leaving only 4 of us left out of the original 6. We all lifted our headsets just enough to text the group chat on our phones and no response from either of our 2 friends that had disconnected. We all put our headsets on and Frost was gone. Not only was he gone, but the map grew dark and it was snowing in game. We checked the entire forest map and didn't see anything, but we could hear the sounds of the snowstorm that was coming from Frost previously. We all began to freak out and called it quits for the night. One after another, we all got off Gorilla Tag and I went to lay down in bed, still thinking nothing much of what had happened. We were all texting the group chat and had still gotten no response from our 2 friends that had disconnected. I gave them both a call, but still no answer. My concern was starting to grow, but I thought I would just text again in the morning to see what had happened. Within 30 minutes, I had fallen asleep while watching TikTok videos. That was around 3:30 a.m. After I had fallen asleep, I was woken up by a knock at my door. I checked my phone and it said 6:30 a.m. My mom and dad opened the door and sat at the foot of my bed. They had told me the police were here and wanted to ask me a few questions. I didn't know what I did wrong or what had happened at the time for the police to come ask me questions. I was a good kid and I had never gotten in any trouble, so my heart was pounding out of my chest. I walked downstairs with my parents to see two police officers sitting at the kitchen table. I sat down in front of them and they began asking me questions about my two friends. After they had said the names of my friends, it hit me. Everything was starting to piece together. The same two friends that disconnected from GorillaTag were the same two friends the police officers were asking about. The police had told me that they went missing around 2:30 to 3 in the morning, which was right about the time they disconnected. After talking to them more, they had found both windows opened at my two friends' houses. Outside of the window, they had found two trails of footsteps leading from the window deep into the forest. I checked my phone and my three other friends were freaking out as they had also been talking to police officers at the same time I was. Weeks go by, still nothing. Huge searches went on daily, checking everywhere, and no one could find any sign of where they were besides the fact that the footprints led deep into the forest. My friends and I were broken. What had happened to them, we thought. We were confused and giving up hope until one morning came. I had woken up early to eat breakfast and was getting spam texts from my phone. My friends were telling me to look at the news. I immediately ran downstairs and grew pale. On the TV I saw my two friends that had went missing during that huge snowstorm. They had been found together 9 miles away in the middle of nowhere, confused and not knowing themselves what had happened and how they got there. Even though they were now home, we still had gotten no text from the two of them. Even at school they seemed off. They looked different and barely spoke. Even to this day I still don't know what happened to those two that night, but I do know that it's not them. Those are not my friends I used to know. It's almost like they're possessed. If you do see Frost in GorillaTag, do not approach him and leave the server immediately.